Hello, everyone. Just get started in a moment. Just streaming live on Facebook. So just let some people get here before we get started. Welcome to the Plan E presentation. Hope you'll enjoy it. We'll get started shortly here. Let me just launch it. This is my next screen here. Hope everyone's having a great week. Off to a good start with the new year. As I said, this will be streaming live on Facebook. So if you're watching it there or you're watching a recording, feel free to, pause it if need be. If you're watching the recording, you may also want to gather just a piece of paper and a pen to take notes. Notes are important here. We're going to be covering a bunch of things here. And you feel free to reach out at any time after the meeting if you'd like the recording, which will be on my Facebook page, but I could also send it out via email if you prefer to have it that way here. It's just a little bit after 2 here. We're going to get started in probably one more minute here, and we'll get moving on shortly here. Okay, so I turned the recording on here. Again, this is the E2E plan presentation here on how to transition from an employee to an entrepreneur. This is recorded, so you can watch it at your leisure, pause if need be. Hopefully you have some pen and paper to take notes as we move along the presentation here. There'll be a little bit of interaction, so if you want to put anything in the chat, feel free to chat. Okay, so let's get started. So my name is Anthony Kambali, as you can see in the lower portion of the screen there with my contact information. I'm among other individuals here who are advocates for the E2E, which is a nationwide movement launched by independent businessmen like myself to help professionals and individuals make that transition from an employee to an entrepreneur. There, however, has been no greater time in history to become an entrepreneur as in 2021. But with those great abilities, there are also great risks and great decisions to be made along the way. Today's presentation is it's about stacking the deck in your favor and giving you the tools that you need, a blueprint for success, so you can make that transition from an employee to an entrepreneur. Before we dive in, like I said, you have some writing instrument here. We're going to begin with some warm-up questions. Okay, so let's get started with those. The first thing is to get a little bit personal. This is entrepreneurship, which is business, but it's also very, very personal. Okay, we're reflecting everything about you, who you are. Of the things you see on the screen here, what out of these, what 3 would you like more time, freedom, control over? Okay, no wrong answers, of course. Just write down the 3 that kind of jump out you'd like to have, more control over. Just jot those 3 down. I'll leave that up there just for a moment, so you can kind of absorb what's on the screen and just jot those down. And then we'll go to the next page here. Okay. With that, what are your whys? See, in business, if you don't have a strong why, or what you're trying to accomplish, what you're focusing on, then you really are stagnated, right? So on the person side, who do you pour more of your time and money into, right? It's okay if that person is yourself, no judgment. And on the thing side, what is the greatest accomplishment that you're trying to achieve currently right now? Okay, and also write that down. Okay, to give you an example, like right now, I've got 2 kids in college, so most of my resources are going to my kids, right? So that's what I'm focusing a good portion of my time, and as well as that accomplishment of getting them through that. Okay, business stuff is kind of going good. I don't need to do that. Okay, so of these 2 quotes that you see on the screen, which one of them hits you the hardest, right? What resonates with who you are as a person? Okay, This one here really might aggravate or agitate people, right? If you don't build your dream, someone will hire you to build theirs, right? Think about that. Okay, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Okay, that first one might get you goat a little bit on that. Well, I'm building someone else's dream. Wait a minute, I never really thought about it that way, right? It really truly is what it is. So that is going to resonate what you're trying to accomplish. What either one of those that kind of move you as a person. Okay. The entire mission of the E2E is to empower you to live on your terms, okay, and help you gain more freedom over your time and your money. If you have entrepreneurship running in your blood, if it's in your DNA, then you won't be fulfilled until you truly make the move to an environment that gives you that freedom that you're looking for. Okay, it truly is a movement. Remember, the average employment position is not designed to offer you freedom, right? It's designed to pay you a defined amount of money for a defined job, right? This is how much you're going to get to do that. Now, listen to what that's all about. Entrepreneurs, okay, they don't fit into modules like that, right? They don't want any predetermined limits. They want the flexibility. They want the freedom to be creative and to dream. Okay, but the catch is, in order to be able to do that, to be free and have that sense of control, it costs money, right? And entrepreneurship is really the only thing that's going to give you the financial freedom uh, to do that. Okay, when you punch your clock, you're working for someone else. Okay, someone else is the entrepreneur, and they're getting closer to that freedom, but it's not you. Okay, as an employee, right? You've got plan A and you've got plan B. Plan A is, well, I want to get a promotion. I want to, could be within the same company or maybe even a lateral move to another company. So that would be a plan B, depending on the size of the company, right? But with the pandemic, right, I wouldn't even say we're post-pandemic. We're still in the pandemic, right? We've seen many that we thought stable industries really get rocked to the core, right? So many are wondering, well, what's next? What's next is a plan E. A plan E is entrepreneurship. It's that lifestyle. It's owning the day, working when you want, collaborating with the people and those that you want to collaborate with. It's an escape plan for making a smooth transition from where you are as an employee to where you're going to be as a business owner. Okay. An entrepreneur plans and gives easy way to lowering your risk. Okay, so this plan is going to help you lower your risk, removing obstacles away from you. And more importantly, it can put helping hands of experienced leaders who have already gone through this journey to help you start yours, to avoid the pitfalls that many fall into. Okay, there's always going to be failures. Okay, we learn by failing, right? That's how we grow as individuals. Okay, building a business is no different, but a solid plan can keep you moving forward with the mindset of these stumbles, right? We know that you're gonna run into these things. So it's not a forced retreat back to employment, right? If you understand and know what's going on, you won't have to run back to employment. And that's the difference between hitting a dead end in your business or whatever you're trying to accomplish, as opposed to hitting the mark. Having a clear, solid plan that dramatically increases your chances of making it. Okay. Giving you eventual freedom over your time and your money. That is the target that every entrepreneur is looking for. Okay. So let's explore some of these essential elements to a solid plan E. We're going to cover the risks, right? The reality, the mindset. It's all about mindset, right? The answers to some pointing questions, the people, and also the options. And finally, you'll have your E-factor plan in place. So let's start first with the risks. Any one of these risks can knock you back. The goal is to calculate a particular risk for the business that you choose. Okay. You need to ask yourself some questions. One, what are the startup costs? Okay. And can you afford them? Should be taking notes, right? What are the startup costs and can you afford them? Is there a proven system to follow that creates predictable results? Predictable is the key word here, ladies and gentlemen, a predictable result. Do you have to develop your own marketing material from scratch, or can you utilize someone else's that has already been developed? Okay, that is a huge one there. As you know, technology is essential to do business today, right? We're in a technologically advanced world. Is the technology already in place, or will you have to create it yourself, right? Can you share tech costs with others to lower your overall investment? Can you get cash positive before you run out of capital? Either having too few customers or too many customers may be a problem. And are you prepared for both of those scenarios? Growing too fast, right? How fast do you think you can increase your cash flow and go from burning it to making it? Have you considered the legal documents and contracts that you're going to need to protect not only yourself, but your infant business? Okay. That's a lot of questions to consider, but looking at how to lower and avoid these risks should be the very first steps that you take. Now, if that sounds hard, well, that's good because it is. True entrepreneurs never back away from hard work. They welcome the challenge by being realistic. You can help prevent or lower your risk, creating momentum for your business and create your dreams and what you're trying to accomplish. So now let's get realistic. Our next essential is reality, right? So we need to deal in reality. I'm going to put it blunt, ladies and gentlemen. Becoming a successful entrepreneur is difficult, right? It's hard and it's going to hurt. Just like going to the gym, when you're after that workout, you're probably in pain, right? Anything that's worthwhile in life will hurt, right? If you want to earn the rewarding, lasting freedom of a business, you're going to have to put a little blood and sweat into it, right? You're going to have to be not only physically tough, more importantly, you're going to have to be mentally tough, which we'll talk about in a little bit. That's the reality, but it can also be worth it, okay? And hard work will get you there. So let's put it on a scale here, right? This is our hard, easy, worth it, not worth it chart, okay? And we're going to kind of plot what your options or what people are currently into. So right now we're going to first look at low skilled jobs versus a high skilled job, right? Low skilled jobs is something that really anybody can do or be taught to do, right? It's really low on the worth it scale, uh, and there's no fulfillment there, right? Now on the high skilled job side there, okay, uh, it's worth it. It's higher on the worth it side, but it's a high skill job, right? Which requires high skill, right? Some level of training or expertise, right? Uh, and not many people qualify those for those jobs. And even the ones that do, remember, you are still working for someone else, right? Creating their dreams. You're working for an entrepreneur above you who is dictating how much you make and what you want to do. The entrepreneur is the one who's driving that both those scenarios. Now we're going to move on to managers, right? We have low paid managers and high paid managers. Low paid managers make a little bit more than low skilled jobs, but they have a lot more responsibility, a lot more headaches. So it's worth it a little bit. It's a little bit more worth it, and it's obviously a little bit harder. Now, high paid managers, well, they make more money, right? They've got some perks and things that going on, but it's extremely stressful. We're talking long hours, high demands, and it's just barely worth it. Again, you're stuck into a corner. There's not much more room for growth, right? You're kind of stuck. Now, as we add the entrepreneur into it, you can see not only is it harder, but it's worth it. Okay. Uh, this is what we're talking about. Now, many entrepreneurs out there, they don't have more talent or intelligence or more training than you or me. What they do have, guys, is grit, right? They have determination, they have vision, and they have self belief, right? They welcome the hardships because they know it will prepare them for what they're going to receive, which is unlimited possibilities. And this is only offered through entrepreneurship or business ownership. For the prize of their freedom and their dreams, they are willing to run the gauntlet. Are you ready to run the gauntlet? So what is the cycle of a business, right? You may or may not have heard of something called the dip. Okay. Often when entrepreneurs get started doing their business, right, they're in the honeymoon phase, right? There's many things of the honeymoon phase in many different aspects of life, right? It's the excitement. There's considerable reward of starting something, feeling good about it. But then reality sets in, the realities of business, right? Those growing pains. We're talking about endless hours of work, constant frustrations, sometimes for little money, less appreciation, lots of time and effort put into it. And some initially, the rewards could be a little bit low. This is known as the dark valley, right? The valley of despair. It is the boneyard of business. But if you can push through the dip, on the other side is the rise. Okay. Knowing it's a cycle, just like winter, spring, summer, fall. We know the next one is coming, right? Same thing here. We did the same thing here. The next one is the rise. Okay. And at the top is the payoff. The efforts are rewarded as your business soars towards what you want it to be, right? So, knowing the reality, it's time to talk about the mindset. Okay. Most of what you're going to have to conquer is between your ears. Okay. Is yourself. An entrepreneur must have absolute prerequisite that their mind must be set. Okay. Steve Siebold said that you're either growing or you're dying, right? Stagnation doesn't exist, right? A farmer would say you're either green and growing or you're ripe and rotten. It's the same thing. You have to continuously be moving forward. That's the mindset, right? You're going to face a chasm of struggles. Okay. There really is no way around it. Um, there's no such thing as 9 to 5. There's no such thing as Monday to Friday, right? It could be long days, 10, 12, 14-hour days, or even more weekends. Weekends are work days, right? Hobbies and entertainment on the back burner, right? Put the golf clubs in the garage. You're going to you're building a business here, right? So even family time could be sacrificed initially, okay? You've got to get used to hearing no, right? A thick skin. But you also need to be positive and surround yourself with people who are positive. Move away from negative people. That is a huge one, right? You must do these things. Okay. This is the mindset of an entrepreneur, especially when starting out. Okay. We are willing to make these sacrifices because we believe it is absolutely worth it in the future for ourselves and for our families to earn the lifestyle we want, to cross the great divide from where you are now as an employee to being self-supporting, right? That is what we're looking for. So there are 4 categories of mental toughness that you'll need to prepare yourself. One is to work on the same goal for years, pushing through your failure, failure after failure. Remember, you learn by failure. Not being successful is great, but you truly grow as a person by failure. Okay. And you must have sustained concentration, right? This is also known as a persistent focus. Now, emotion is important. Human beings are emotional creatures, right? But emotions do not work in business. They're a poor navigator, but it is an excellent for increasing self-motivation and inspiring others to support you and remain dedicated on your mission. Now, using logic, logic and data are going to tell you what your matrix are, where you're moving in your business. Okay, you must be brutally honest with yourself in order to be successful. And fourth is face your fears. Okay, push forward with the courage that someone who has nothing to lose. These are strong mental tips that you'll need to adapt. Uh, Grit. Let's talk a little bit about grit. Grit is sticking to your job at your task day in, day out, not just for a week or a month or a year or 2 years or 3 years, right? It's whatever it takes to achieve the goal that you're trying to achieve, right? Remember, the average business is 5 to 7 years, 5 to 7, not 5 to 7 days, not 5 to 7 months, 5 to 7 years. Okay, that's what you're gonna expect. Okay, but again, we all know what's on the other side of that chasm is prosperity. Okay, so now that we have the mindset in place, here's here's the important stuff, right? The answers that you must have for the business that you want to start. So these are the answers, the prerequisite before you make any moves. Okay, this is the core of your entrepreneurial plan, and you must consider them carefully. First, you must research them thoroughly and without resources. Okay, let's start with the industry. What is it that you want to do? Where is it that you want to work? Okay, whatever industry you choose, you must consider one important factor, which everyone learned last year. Is it stable? What is the stability of this industry? What are the potential trends, right? What are the sizes of each? Okay, you have to research that. And then you must know your market, okay? Not what your market is, but who your market is. Who is the person, okay? Who is the precise client or group that you will serve? Every industry is filled with different demographics, and they also target different customers. Identify yours. What is your differentiating factor here? What makes you different than your competitor? What is your formula? What is your secret sauce, right? What makes you different? Is it something that can be copied by your competitors, or can you protect it? What is the clear, defined product or service? How much will it cost you to make versus sell? Who will provide the business with the materials, the inventory, or the service that you need? What is the big solution you are going to bring to the world? Write down one great problem you're going to solve and why your market wants or needs this solution so desperately. And lastly, what unique abilities qualify you and your business partners to become the ones to solve this great problem in the market that you choose? Okay. Defining these parameters for your business is critical work that will keep you on your vision and sharpen your focus. Okay. It will help shield you from temptation to all things, from being all things to all people, right? You cannot be all things to all people. Okay. You must prevent yourself from doing that. In addition to that, you don't want to build something that you love, but few people will buy. right? Few people will buy that. Your partners and your mentors and your collaborators will impact you in every way. Okay. They will impact your success, your happiness, your values, and more importantly, your income. This is a little bit in your face and it might make you feel a little uncomfortable, but you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that. Do you want to be the average of those 5 people? Are you content being there? If not, you need to broaden your social circle, right? And get out there and meet more successful people, right? Our core belief here with the E2E movement is we lose if we go it alone. We win when we depend on each other, right? I had people help me, and we're here to help you, right? We're paying it forward. Mentorship is essential for entrepreneurs to succeed at every step, right? We need strength, we need encouragement, guidance, experience from those people who have done it before, right? The camaraderie. We need that, right? It's truly, it also creates friendships, friendships that could last, a lifetime. Helen Keller said it best, right? Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. Now let's talk about the options, okay? When you want to get started. How are you going to get started? What kind of time can you put into your new endeavor after putting your plan E together, right? Are you going to work spare time, slow and steady, putting things together? Are you going to work on part-time? The difference between spare time and part-time is time blocking. Okay, time blocking is a specific time of the day of the week, whatever it is, where you're going to work on your business, not, just whenever I have a moment. Whenever I have a moment is spare time. Okay. And then eventually, obviously, to transition into full time and being your own boss. Okay. Take to heart this quote here from Inc. magazine. Many people are working full time, but are also pursuing their business passions on the side. These people are just as much as an entrepreneur as those who working full time, right? All great business started on a part-time basis, right? All the great ones, right? Especially the ones um, in the new world, right? Like Apple and Microsoft, Amazon. I mean, they all started in garages, right? That's exactly what we're talking about here. So here's the final and essential element to your plan E factor, right? Every entrepreneur must look at our post-pandemic as technology first, right? Business has changed, ladies and gentlemen, right? And there's no going back. Industries and companies have realized that they need to have a digital footprint, right? They need to have, it needs to be just as strong as other elements of their business, right? The advantage of being able to work from anywhere with anyone at any time with low risk, low investment, zero inventory, and scalability that is at a moment's notice, right? That is a digital business. And that is undeniable the way of the future, right? It's not some pie in the sky or futuristic or some techno. It is reality and you need to embrace it. Okay. Now, when looking to adding that digital business to your career portfolio, whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, you must make sure it has as many of these elements as possible. The more, the merrier. Does the business offer videos or text platform? Does it have email campaigns? Is it web friendly, web marketing, right? Is it ready to go in a mobile, right? So computer is different than mobile. Mobile is in your hand, your cell phone, your Apple Watch, right? Your tablet. That is mobile, right? Can you screen share? Can you communicate with your clients using a screen share application, right? Can your customers complete transactions online? Social distancing, right? Many companies are struggling to do that. Will you have marketing tools you need to easily generate the leads and build an online presence? Can you communicate with the people that you're going to be working with, your team, 100% digitally? The more remote capabilities that you have, the more successful you'll be and the easier your business will get moving. Okay. So now you have some essentials that you'll need for your plan E. Okay. Completing this plan will help you get organized, get clarity, avoid setbacks, and accelerate your success. Okay. So here's the final challenge here is to just live, right? Being an entrepreneur is about being free. No excuses, no looking back. Own your freedom, be your own boss, set your own schedule, work from anywhere. Eventually spending time with the people that are important to you, with your family. And then being a leader, not only for business, but for your family, right? For the next generation. Embrace the freedom, right? Embrace it. What then is freedom? The power to live as one wishes. Okay. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the end of our presentation. Okay. If you like this recording, feel free to contact me. And this way you'll be able to kind of run through it a little bit slower and take those notes. My contact information is at the lower uh, right-hand corner of the screen. I'll put my website up here so you can see it. It's just a contact information. That's my work number, which is a landline. My mobile number is there as well. Feel free to contact me and I'll help you put these plans together. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day and really do hope to see you soon. Enjoy. Bye-bye.